you're out there, you're riding, you're having a good time, and taking in the outdoors.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning.
Channel. Where this bike suffers is when you get going really fast, it tends to have a death wobble on the front. Front fork tends to give it a twisting effect, which isn't always too fun. Another beautiful day for a ride. A little bit snowy out in some spots. The thing about this riding area in particular is that when you start into any certain direction, you can almost count on the terrain, or the trail rather, going in the opposite direction. We got this beautiful view behind me of the valley and the snow-capped mountains, low-hanging clouds. Got this giant rock garden mountain in front of me. It's a beautiful day for a ride. We'll see what the rest of this holds for us. This bike is one I've missed. There's nothing like riding this bike. It feels amazing to ride this thing. Really, really nimble and light, and great power output. Beautiful view. Why did you land? Did I push land? I think I pushed the button on accident. This bike just feels so amazing, just like most modern bikes are really good, but I say that because I have a 1966 Yamaha and I look at that thing and the metallurgy is horrible, the quality control is horrible, the plastics are all, well, there is hardly any plastic, the rubber is bad though, and if you compare it to today's standards, the old stuff is really, really bad, and I find it weird that just within a short number of years, I mean, if you think about it, the last 100 years has been where all the cool stuff has come from. Where is this trail? So think about how many years we've been here on this planet and compare that to how much stuff we've created that's really cool and really refined. It's pretty weird to me, considering the difference. I don't know whether or not internet was a huge factor in that, but I bet it probably was. All right, there's a trail over here. wanted to talk about motorcycles, like I sometimes do, and how the innovation of motorcycles has really changed everything as far as gummy tires and bibs that you can put in your tire and tubeless systems. The metallurgy and plastics are all really good. Manufacturing process has very tight tolerances now in order to stay competitive. And so everything is lasting a really long time, and everything meshes really well with the rider. Really integrates well and makes you feel like you're part of the bike. And that's what it's all about. But I got to thinking, it's strange to me that it's only been the past 50 years where we've really had cool stuff. I mean, you could go back 100 years and say that, but even then, it's really insignificant when you zoom out and view that on the scale of, you know, how long we've been on the planet. That's really, really small. So it's kind of strange that we just recently started coming up with all this cool stuff, whereas prior to that, we built everything out of wood and we rode around on horses. That was literally the motorcycle. That was, no two models were the same. You had to pick and choose which model you wanted, and then you had to train your model to be a good motorcycle. Train it not to kick you and kill you. Sometimes they did that anyway. Personally, I haven't had that great of an experience with horses. Ooh, they try to kill me. So do motorcycles, but at least it's my own fault. This isn't good. This is really, really slimy. But I was gonna see how many of you guys think that we didn't have technology like we do nowadays at any point during history, and that includes thousands upon thousands of years ago. Do you believe that there were civilizations here that had awesome technology, not just horses, not just a bunch of horses with blankets thrown over them and eventually saddles, but real technology like we have nowadays? And I don't really know what to say about that, because there's lots of evidence that there was, but I haven't really decided what I think on that yet, but I think it's definitely possible that technology existed like we have nowadays. Wow, this has actually melted off quite a bit, but it's really slimy. This middle line, I remember this middle line. I'll take it again. At least I can see with the rocks now. Oh, I'll be able to climb this, I'm sure. This is ice. Welcome to the Thunderdome, guys. All right, well, this is dangerous. Anyways, so I started riding. But I think it's very possible that we could have had technology similar to what we have right now in the past. And there is evidence for that. There's evidence that they had the human genome mapped out. There's evidence of flying technology, aircraft, if you have that kind of technology, then why did the human race forget it or become extinct? You know, mass extinction events are likely the cause of that forgotten technology and knowledge, if there ever was. There's a lot of unanswered questions, but they're fun to ask and think about, because that stuff is weird. The evidence for it is weird too. The problem is, nowadays you can make videos look any way you want. So when I'm watching documentaries on this stuff, a lot of times they are out to pretty much convince you that their point is real. I lost my front end for a while. And they're out to convince you that their point is accurate, and a lot of times they go about it in a less than accurate way. So, I don't know what to think about that question, whether or not there was stuff like that. But I do believe that we are not alone in the universe. There's just too much space. And if you were created, why wouldn't there be another creation? You know what I mean? That doesn't go against intelligent design in the slightest. In fact, I don't think science goes against intelligent design. Science has always been kind of under the impression that if you can explain something and explain the way it works, then you have therefore proven that it was not created and that there's no real magic there. But I think science is just able to explain the magic. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. For example, a rainbow. There's a very logical reason that a rainbow exists when the light passes through the water particles, but that doesn't mean that it's not magical nonetheless. Oh, this is a freaking lake. Uh-oh. Dog tracks. Big dogs. Whoa. Wolf. Wolfie. I'm not carrying anything on me, by the way, besides these massive guns that are naturally attached to my body. Take out a wolf pretty easily with those. Just strangle it. Get a wolf in my rubber guard, has no chance. I'll strangle it. Doesn't matter how hard it bites. There's no match for a jiu-jitsu wolf. As I talk to a wolf that's nowhere to be seen. The true test would be if I talked that way once I did see it. I think if that were the case, I'd be riding as fast as I could somewhere besides where the wolf was. Generally, they leave you alone, though. There's seldom a human attack from a wolf, especially a human on a motorcycle. Part of my worry is that the motorcycle will fail, and then I'm just a human. Very little defense. Anyways, with technology, and by the way, technology is the only reason that we can exist in nature. It's kind of weird, isn't it? I think it's the most bizarre thing that if you take a human and, there's nothing like us. You put a human out here naked, good luck, buddy. Good luck surviving. Good thing we have a brain, because that's the only thing that we have. He's running around naked from wolves and bears. Can you picture that? How did the human race even get to the point where we could survive? Yeah, you had to start creating things pretty quick. Otherwise, you were just running around screaming. You'd be running around in the woods, bears chasing after you, wolves chasing after you, mountain lions. Everything with teeth would be just demolishing you. It'd be a slaughterhouse until we finally came up with a spear, at least. Oh, this is nasty. You nasty! I don't know why I'm going down this direction. I've already been down here. Oh no, this is slimy. I keep getting sidetracked on weird topics, weird side topics. But technology and the question of whether or not we've had technology in the past, it's a hard one to answer. I don't know. Who knows? I think that if you had a power source, I think this is one of the things that we're dealing with currently, is that, power is such an important thing. And I don't mean the sense of power like you have power over people. I mean powering things like a motorcycle and internal combustion, battery power, you have fuel cell power. These things are fairly innovative. However, I think that we could probably have a renewable power source running everything. But I think it would cause logistical issues and a political issue that somebody doesn't want to bring up. Somebody doesn't even want to discuss. And it falls under the theory that, if you have a society that is completely self-sustaining and everybody has equal power, some moron is going to come along, some really, really angry dude is going to come along, and you see them. I mean, there are very angry people around every once in a while, and imagine giving that person a nuclear powered engine, or even just a weird goofy guy that likes to take things apart and see what's in it. Is this really nuclear? I want to see how this nuclear engine works. Strap a bunch of them together. Anyways, I think that if you had a power source that was really efficient like that, you would run into a problem where a small percentage of the planet would be using it in the wrong way, and you would have mass casualties as a result. And this is, I don't know if I can actually climb this. I should be able to. Again, I'm going down this same thing that I went down on the 450, but conditions are, I know they don't look worse than they were last time, but conditions are worse this time because this stuff is really icy, slimy, and all of it goes through down to the mud. Even going downhill, I'm having some sketchy bike behavior going on. Oh yeah, this is not, that's not good. Just going down to visit this cabin again. It looks like there have been several people down here since I came down here, which creates a more difficult situation for me, considering they leave big tracks. I think my videos attract people on razors too. And, yeah, this stuff is pretty gnarly. This snow is not snow that you can get good drive on. All right, well, I have arrived. Made it. some crazy stuff, you might as well do it on a good bike. Alright, this isn't bad at all so far. I know I have some spots to get up, but shouldn't be too bad. The snow is so unpredictable. Holy smokes. This is way worse. Again, I did go down once. My front end dove and did not expect that. It was really, really soft snow right there, and it just dug in and it was all over. One of these days, drones will be good enough to just autonomously follow you around with no issues. They'll be able to just know exactly what's going on. And to be honest, I'm continually shocked at how good they are already. But I mean, they've come such a long ways. But still, I bet it won't be long before they're able just to follow you around no matter where you're at. I mean, that drone can fit anywhere I can go, so that technology is only going to get better. Different drones are good for different things, for sure. This drone's not very good for doing sweeping panoramic shots. Manually, anyway. It does a good job of following me around, though. I actually wouldn't recommend this drone unless you have very specific use cases for it, like what I'm doing. Heading home. Man, there have been so many game trails, tracks around here. Whew. Lots of predators. Lots of things with sharp teeth. Big ol' claw marks and tracks everywhere. Just a big field back there of just hundreds of dogs roaming around here. There's lots of coyotes out here, wolves. And I saw a few deer tracks as well. But predators are hungry. They've got to survive in this cold climate. expending a lot of energy. Kind of like me right now. Spending a lot of energy when I shouldn't be, but it tends to happen when there's a lack of traction. This is so freaking slick. Abnormally slick. I know I get comments like of people saying, oh, it's not that bad, that's not muddy, or that's not slick, or harsh conditions, what are you talking about? Let's go riding. That's all I have to say. This stuff is absolutely ice. But anyways, with all these tracks out here and knowing these predators are hungry, you have to think to yourself, man, it sure is nice that I'm on a motorcycle. That would be such a huge pain to be out here, you know, having to walk back to the truck, or even for any distance at all, especially with the sun going down. You don't want to be mingling with the animals. They are not friendly. They are not your pet. Hunger, especially, will make things even worse. They will do crazy things if they're hungry. This one's going to be a real pain in the McWaffle. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you stopping by to watch the video. It was an awesome ride. Changing conditions for sure with all the mud and the ice, and the snow is completely different now. I went on a ride a couple days after this one, and it was totally different yet again. So the conditions are changing really fast right now. I have a video coming out here in a little bit of this current ride, and it's a pretty big group ride, and I get some pretty cool shots. So looking forward to that one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.